What's going on, YouTube? It's Saturday, September 2nd, 2023. I'm in Philadelphia. I've been meaning to make this video for a long time, and I never came around to it. So something came over me and just, told me to do it today. So I don't have no notes. So it's really like a freestyle, but there are certain things that I've always wanted to, share with young men, young black men, young men in general. But this can, apply to men of all ages. So I'm 29 and I'm approaching 30 in a couple months. And there's certain things that school didn't teach me. There's some things my parents didn't teach me, and I believe they did a phenomenal job. But there's some things that only life can really teach you as a man. And I want to share some of the biggest lessons that I've learned in my 29 years of living. And, I know tomorrow's not guaranteed, and I may not even make it to 30. So I wanted to, share this while I still can. So I'm gonna get right to it. One of the biggest things, and this is not gonna be in any type of order, but one of the biggest things that I learned throughout my 29 years is that happiness isn't the only thing money can't buy. Now, it can make you happy. A nice quick fix is like taking a Tylenol. But there's so much more than just happiness that it can't buy. You know what I mean? Like a reputation. A man's name is everything out here in this world. I mean, you can have all the money in the world, but if you make one fucked up mistake, especially as a man, it can ruin your name. It can ruin your legacy. And I think prioritizing your name is very, very important. But no one tells you how difficult it is to protect your name. You know what I mean? Because we're humans, we make a lot of mistakes as is, especially early, at a young age. No one really teaches us what it's like on a day-to-day basis to protect your name. Money can't buy wealth or health. And now having wealth can aid in the process of maintaining or increasing your health for sure, but the day-to-day work that it takes to, eat healthy, stay active and moving, going to the gym, working out, money doesn't necessarily give you that level of discipline. You can't buy that level of discipline. You know what I mean? And maintaining that discipline on a day-to-day can be a challenge. You know what I mean? When you have so many distractions, when you have such a short attention span, when we live in a society where we want what we want, like an impulse society. I mean, you can order something on Amazon and get it the same day. But then when you have external influences, when you see others with maybe things that you want or a lifestyle that you want, you don't really focus on the journey, the quest, on what it takes to get there. You know what I mean? You just want it right then and there. Life doesn't really, or people can't really teach you that. Some other things that I learned, regarding people, friends, for instance. If you got, good friends, I think it's very, very important to maintain or try to maintain those relationships. Now, going into it, they may not have the same intentions as you as to maintain that friendship. That doesn't make them, you know, bad or good or anything like that. It's just, if you don't have that intention, or you could care less, or if you one of those lone wolves, and then they could care less, or they, you know, are one of those lone wolves, a friendship is going to be hard, you know, to maintain. And making new friends is extremely difficult. Now, you can make associates, you know what I mean, for sure, but, you know, school doesn't really teach you. They make you feel like you're always going to have friends, you know what I mean, because you see your friends every day in high school. You make new friends in college, you know, if you're fortunate enough to go to college. So you believe that friends are just always going to be there. And that isn't necessarily the case, because throughout life, you and your said friends are going to experience changes, traumas, growths, regressions that can impact that friendship. And it takes two people to want to maintain it. You know what I mean? You know, some other things in life that I learned that, you know, school don't necessarily teach you is the importance of, like, delayed gratification and self-control. Now, everything that I'm telling you, I've struggled with or learned from. You know what I mean? That's what I'm telling you. And one thing that I wish they taught men specifically was how to intentionally practice self-control and delayed gratification. That it should be something that you intentionally practice often. Again, when you live in a right now society, if you don't have that strength, that ability to delay the gratification of whatever it is that you're buying, whatever it is that you're trying to experience, it can hurt you in a lot of ways. It can make you impatient. It can increase your anxiety. It can fuck your money up. And when your money fucked up and you anxious and impatient, that plays a role in your personality and how you interact with others. And that could fuck up, you could fuck up relationships with, you know, with your social human experience because of a lack of self-control and the ability to delay your gratification. These are things that, you know, life doesn't really teach you, or that school doesn't really teach you. Life has to teach you. Life has a one hell of a way of giving you a nice whiff kick in the ass. You know what I mean? Some other things that I learned in life is like how important it is. How can I say this? Your interactions with women is going to be everything. Now, I do believe that if you've grown up with women in your life, like sisters specifically, I do think you're a little bit better off. But not every man, you know, has women in their life. Not every man grows up with women in their life or with sisters. And a lot of times a man might get some game or learn about how to interact with women from other men. Sometimes it's good, but a lot of times it can be disastrous. Because, you know, most of us men, you already know what type of time we on. We like getting it in. And if you're getting game or learning or observing interactions between men and women from men that have that mindset, and you experience that your whole life, that also will play a role in your interactions with women and the results that you get from them. And the reason why I say this is not for, to get laid or anything like that. The reason why I say this is because some men might feel, and this is what school don't teach you, some men might feel bad for possibly being a virgin at a certain age, for not having a certain amount of women attracted to them, or being, sexually involved with a lot of women. They may feel bad about it. But the thing is, then when you factor in how society, plays a role into the inability to have women or get women or be around women, they stigmatize it. You can feel like shit. But the thing is, what society doesn't tell you is that it's actually okay if you respect women. It's actually okay if you are a virgin. It's okay if you are in a platonic friendship with a woman. You know what I mean? It don't make you a simp or a sucker or anything like that. It's okay if you don't only want to, fuck all the time. It's going to be difficult, however, when other men around you, maybe your friends or some of your role models, your male role models or your male figures that's in your life, it could be difficult if they're on that mindset of you're less than if you're not getting women, essentially, or have women in your life. I think if you have the ability to delay your gratifications and you constantly practice it, you'll see the results in that when you interact with women. And that takes practice, but it'll be easier if you adopt it at an earlier age. The older you are, the harder it'll be. Like, as a man, there's so much expectations on you. You gotta have this, you gotta have that by a certain age, and when you don't have it, or if you don't have it, you feel less than, you feel inadequate, you feel like a failure. The thing is, what life forces you to learn, but school doesn't teach you, is you have to figure out early on what it is that you value, what it is you can live without, what it is that you want. Again, everybody want money. We're gonna take money out of it, right? Everybody want that. Internally and externally, what are the things that you want? What are the things that you can live without? Because let's say you want your own place. Well, you can get your own place, but you might see another brother with a fly ass place, living in some skyscraper. Now you're gonna feel less than. So therefore, you didn't identify exactly what it is that you wanted. You just knew you wanted your own place. Say you wanted a car. You can get a car, you can get a hoopty. But then you might see another brother with a fly ass BMW or a Challenger or some shit. And you be like, damn, I don't have that. You're gonna feel less than. What school don't teach you is you have to identify exactly what it is that you want. Because when you identify exactly what it is that you want and what you can live without, you can plan a blueprint on how you can get it. But something that school doesn't teach you is how to not compare yourself to others. And I had to learn this the hard way. Like, comparing yourself to others, it is natural. understand that. But it is a recipe for disaster. You know what I mean? What school don't teach you is gratitude. Whether you're young or old, you have to start practicing gratitude. It sounds easy, right? But watch this. How can you practice gratitude if every day you wake up, you're reminded about, or society's reminding you that you're less than because you don't have XYZ, or you don't look like XYZ? How can you practice gratitude? School don't teach you that you're going to have constant reminders, constant big ass signs saying you're not shit, or you still got a long way to go, or you still this, you still not this, you still not that, you still don't have this, you still don't have that. You have to understand that those are the struggles of a man, and they're going to be there. They're always going to be there. But if you don't know that they're there, you could live, your life could be very, very fucked up. Every day you wake up, it's, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't look like this, I don't look like that. Moving forward, if you know, it's almost like offense and defense. The reason why the defense is harder than the offense, it's not because you got to tackle, but it's because you don't know where the motherfucker's going. You have to react. But when you're on offense, you already know where you're going. You know what I mean? And you're going to score more because of it. So knowing that life is going to constantly remind you that you ain't shit, you now know, all right, this is how I got to move. Here's the play. Here's the plan. We're going to run it like this. I didn't know that growing up. And I think a lot of brothers don't know that growing up. A lot of men. You know what I mean? That you are still valuable. You're a human being. You are still worth something. Just because you may not have some fly shit, just because you don't have a lot of money, or just because you're not, big dick balling, I don't mean you less than. I don't know, man. It's one of those lessons that I really wish men would get early on rather than later on. Another lesson I learned about life is, like, I'm not gonna sound cliche and say life is precious, because y'all know life is precious, right? But literally every moment you have, it doesn't necessarily have to feel like a grind. And what I mean by that is, all right, you got to pay your bills, you got to go to work, you know what I mean? You got to do the shit that you got to do, but you know how they say babies are gifts? Well, every human being is a gift. And what I mean by that is, let's say you don't feel like going to work. Well, to make it easier, while you're at work, talk. Listen, which is more important. Listen to people. Ask them, like, how's your day going? You know what I mean? Like, hello, hi, wave, smile. When I started doing that, yeah, I've come across people who it would throw them off guard. Some of them may not even say hi back or acknowledge you. You know what I mean? But when you engage in an interaction with someone else, it takes your mind off of the quote unquote constant grind of, I have to do this and that. And that's something school don't teach you, that, yo, you can actually Tylenol your way through your responsibilities in a positive way. You know what I mean? By actually interacting with people. So I definitely learned that, you know, talking to people makes a big, big, big difference. That don't mean you got to give them, you know what I mean, your social security and tell them where you live and shit. And your whole business, your whole life story. But, you know, a simple, you know, hi makes one hell of a difference, especially as a man. Because you're going to come across cats who need that. You might need it. You might come across women who will respond well to that and who won't. It also builds up a certain level of confidence, which brings me to my next life lesson. Like, confidence. You have to identify what confidence is for you. Because what confidence is to another man or to a woman could be similar. It can be extremely different, but it will never be the same as to what you identify as confidence. And quite frankly, confidence is not nothing external. You know what I mean? It's all internal. The funny thing about confidence is, growing up, I thought, you know, you had to be born with it, or you had to pretty much level up to get it. Work out, get your money up, shit like that, right? And again, those things will aid into the increase of your confidence for sure. But the true way, the ultimate way to have confidence is to engage in things that build it. You know, like, so I could win a lotto, and my confidence may go up. You know what I mean? But it's not gonna sustain, because it was one day I had confidence because I won a lottery, whatever, right? But let's just say you're a shy person. You didn't win a lottery, but you're a shy person. Every day that you engage that shyness side of you by talking to people or by getting out there, that will build a permanent level of confidence. So engaging, you know, things that you're not too confident about. So some things that I started doing was, like, when I put on weight, I didn't like going out for a walk or jogging without a shirt. You know what I mean? I started jogging without a shirt. Shit like that. I didn't like saying hi to people and asking them how their day was. I started saying hi. But with the addition of going to the gym, it built the confidence even more. The foundation, your confident foundation is going to be even more solid, more strong. You know what I mean? So it ain't necessarily overnight come-ups that build your confidence. It's the quest, it's the journey, it's the continuation of engaging in things that you're not confident about. You know what I mean? That's how you do it. Another thing, you know, that I learned, and I'm about to wrap this up because we're on like 24 minutes, is the ability to have thick skin, yo. School don't teach you that shit. You know what I mean? School don't teach you that shit. Like, you're not always going to get your way. You're not always going to get the yes out of life. You're not always going to get the ideal response that you want from others. You're not always going to get the reward. Hell, sometimes it might come with a bash. It might come with some criticism. It might come with some negative rebuttals. Like, what you expect may not always be what you get. And I haven't came across a way to, increase your thick skin other than when something hurts that skin of yours, you put it in the past. You know what I mean? Like, because you don't know when it's coming. You know what I mean? You can have an idea, but at the end of the day, you're not a psychic. So think of it, when it comes to having thick skin or being able to take rejection, think of it as athletes when they might lose. Some of the greatest athletes have the ability to just put it behind them. They can shoot their way out of a loss. Kobe, Mike. You know what I mean? They can shoot their way out of it. They have the ability to forget about it very quickly. That requires practice. If something were to come up, you're going to think about it. That's natural. But you literally force yourself to forget about it. You force yourself to distract yourself about it. Another thing that I learned is how important your health is, man. I'm gonna just say this and one more thing after this, man. Your health, bruh. I know a lot of people, or at least I've come across a lot of brothers that say they started feeling shit in their bones at 30 or whatever. Again, I'm 29, I haven't hit 30 yet. But I'm fortunate enough to say that I haven't had any, severe issues with my joints or my ligaments. I mean, I broke my foot once balling, but I still feel, physically capable of doing the things that I could have done at, at 18, 20, 23. And I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean? However, I did come across some things that made me cherish health. I've had back injuries, sicknesses, illnesses, some scares. Your health, when you know that you're healthy, or you at least try to be, is going to reduce so much stress in your life, man. And of course, high school does give you gym class, but they don't spend too much time on diabetes, high blood pressure, cirrhosis of the liver, other diseases like, STDs and shit like that. They don't spend too much time on what it's like to live with those things. And, I got to park. And sometimes it can be too late for a lot of people when they start to see how important those things are. Going to see a doctor or a specialist. Because when you're young, you think you're going to live forever. You think everything all right because you feel all right. You feel fucking great. But I can't stress it enough, man, that, like, all it takes is one diagnosis. All it takes is one injury, one fall, one fuck up. And your health could be in jeopardy. So what I would recommend is, if you are the type that don't like eating healthy or don't like working out or put yourself in, dangerous positions health-wise, one thing for sure that I would recommend is, if you're too tired after work to work out, bite the bullet, get a Planet Fitness membership, go to the gym before work. You might have to wake up early, but do it. If you eat a lot of junk food, make some accommodations. Switch to diet soda if you drink soda. let go of the chips and pick up some nuts or cashews. If you drink a lot or you indulge in a lot of toxins, practice fasting. It's a natural body cleanser. You know what I mean? Take your vitamins. Things of that nature. Sexually, wear condoms. You know what I mean? Get to know the woman at the very least. Ask questions. Don't necessarily go into it without asking questions. And last but not least, because I know I'm going on long, and again, none of this was in order. I know I forgot a lot of shit that I wanted to, talk about. There's so much that I learned in life. Religion. I saved this one for last because it's the big one. It affects, most men. If it's true that, God created man first and that women came from the rib of a man, I think that it's important that I get this message out. So no matter what religion you are, life has a way of pulling you away from that path, that blueprint that the God that you believe in had created for you. It's pulled me. It's pulled plenty of people. Never fall 100% off of that path. Keep it in your mind that there's still a blueprint that was meant for me, that everything around you is viewed to be normal even though it's not. At the very least, keep faith the size of a mustard seed, as the old saying goes. And at the very least, keep that, bro. At the very least. Don't fall completely off, man. And I mean, if you can only make it to the church or to the masjid or to the synagogue once a year, go. If you can make it twice a year, go. Hell, walk there. The reason why I say that is because religion provides a blueprint, in my opinion. When you fall off course, you already know this is the course I got to get back on. It's going to be hard. It's bumpy. It's extremely hard and extremely bumpy. But at the end of the day, all I got to do is get back in line or get close to that line. You know what I mean? And religion covers so many things about life that if you get back on it, and you may not be perfect, but if you get back on it, other things around you will improve. But most importantly, your internals will improve. Your internals, your emotional and your mentals and your physical, as far as your health is concerned, is so important. You know what I mean? I can't stress it enough, man. Keep school, unless you went to a Catholic school or a religious school, or you know what I mean. School don't really teach you the importance of faith and how it has an impact on your everyday, your emotions and whatnot. When you fall off that path, man, you can get lost, and a lot of bad things can come from that. There's so much that I wish I could cover. It's real late. It's a long video, I know. It's no joke out here, man. So I'm gonna leave you off with this. Focus on your health, your wealth, your discipline, your gratitude, and your faith. Know what you want, build the world that you want, and understand that it's for a lot of men, including yourself, it's going to be a brick by brick process, and that you don't have to always only think about the end goal. You know what I mean? Like, enjoy the journey, enjoy the quest. You know what I mean? Even if you don't make it, like, because if you only focus on the end, you're gonna miss the ride, man. You're gonna miss everything. You're not less than if you don't have certain things, man. Like, it's okay, because interactions with other people are waiting on you, man. Trees are waiting on you to be planted. You know what I mean? Birds is waiting on you, and animals is waiting on you to feed them. Work is waiting on you to get done. Weights is waiting on you to get lifted. You know what I mean? Compliments is waiting on you, you know, to be handed out to people. You know what I mean? Like, people are waiting on that from you, man. Like, and you don't gotta expect nothing in return, yo. Like, you don't have to, because when you're doing what's best for you and being kind to others, you are gonna feel good about that. You know what I mean? So, like the video, comment down below, subscribe. Men, life is no fucking joke. You're gonna get hit, but you gotta keep it moving. Society's gonna make you feel like you're wrong for being a man, wrong for being emotional. They're gonna promote weakness and sensitivity, and you're gonna experience weakness and sensitivity. But that's not who you are. You know what I mean? You're not weak. You're not sensitive, man. You're a human being, and you go through emotions, ups and downs. It's an honor to be a man. It's an honor to have the responsibility that we have. It's an honor to have to work and protect and provide and nurture and lead. It's an honor. Enjoy that privilege. Enjoy that honor. Enjoy that blessing. Enjoy the job that God gave us. Peace.